The proportion of a flag can be interpreted as the amount of squares, as in quadrilateral shapes with equal sides and with equal angles, you can lay into a rectangle that stays true to the flag's designated shape, with the number of each side standing for the number of squares in a row and in a column. With this in mind, we get that some flags will differ in shape to others, and in this video, the most odd and uncommon flag proportions will be taken a look at. First, we will just scratch the surface to have a bit of an understanding on what flag ratios are and on what flag ratios are weird. The most commonly used flag ratios are 2, in ascending order of use, 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. They're found, for example, in the flags of Canada and Venezuela respectively. The 1 to 2 ratio is my personal favorite if you ask me. There are a lot of flags with this proportion as you can see here. However, there are even more flags that use the 2 to 3 ratio, including my country, Venezuela's. There's also the 3 to 5 ratio, used by 16 flags of the world. But we're not talking those. Here's where the flag ratio fun begins. To begin, we will look at the square flags, those with a 1 to 1 ratio. There are two national flags like this, Switzerland and the Vatican City. Pretty easy, let's move on. Now, there are some flags that appear to be square, but aren't. We count 3, Niger with a 6 to 7 ratio, Monaco with a 4 to 5 ratio, which by the way is a factor that helps differentiate it from the flag of Indonesia, unlike other flags. And finally, Belgium, with not a ratio of 1 to 1, but an awkwardly close ratio of 13 to 15. Next, we'll cover a flag that has a proportion of 11 to 28, which is amazing because it's the only national flag that has a width more than twice its height, and that flag is the Qatar flag. This can be noticed when we fold the flag in half and realize it's not a square nor a tall rectangle. So now we have a rather odd flag ratio, 10 to 19. This ratio is used by 4 national flags, those of Liberia, the Marshall Islands, Micronesia, and quite surprisingly, the United States. And it's even more interesting to know the fact that all of these countries are linked to one of them, and that is America, of course. This is because both Micronesia and the Marshall Islands are American associated states, and Liberia's population is from descent of freed American and Caribbean slaves, which can be noticed by the similarities between both countries' flags. And next, we have what could be the most perfect flag ratio of all. The flag that uses it is that of Togo. Now, what is the ratio, you may ask? Well, it's this. That's phi, also known as the golden ratio. The formula reads that phi equals 1 plus the square root of 5 all divided by 2. And that jumble equals about 1.618034. Yeah. So 1 to that is Togo's flag ratio. However, there are 2 more flags with irrational proportions. Those are the only non-quadrilateral national flag, Nepal's, with a ratio of 1.21901 to 1. Also, the only flag taller than it is wide. About the ratio, I don't know, ask maths. And Iran's flag, with a ratio of 4 to 7. Of course, if you're using the dumb standardized version. The actual flag, according to compass and straight edge construction, please look closely now, looks like this. And it should have a proportion of 4 to 6.9908. I mean, can you even see the difference? Next, and before the weirdest ratio in my opinion, the remaining odd flag ratios to cover, grouped according to whether they are shared or unique. And now, the weirdest proportion on a flag, by sheer numbers, is the one on the flag of El Salvador, with a ratio of, bear with me, 189 to 335. Those two are the largest numbers on a national flag ratio by far. However, it's not quite weird. I'm pretty sure that if I hadn't ever showed you guys these flags along with their proportions, you may have not seen a major difference. El Salvador's flag ratio, when represented as a decimal number, sits between that of Paraguay's and Mexico's flag ratios. So that's all flags and the ratios. I hope I did not miss anything. I really enjoyed making this video and I wish you enjoyed watching it. So yeah, thanks for watching and enjoy.